So yesterday, Sayadaw pointed out the weakness or the shortcoming or defect in practice. So that with the purpose to make corrections of your shortage and shortcoming and defect in practice. So first of all, you need to learn what are shortcomings and defects for the practice, and then you need to make corrections of them with the courageous effort. It is very important to amend your mistakes and weakness. When the teacher points out your weakness, you must be honest with him and follow his instructions and make corrections of your mistakes so that you can make progress and practice faster. So as a yogi, you are supposed to be mindful all the time except the sleeping hours. Starting from rising, falling or the abdomen as a main object, or lifting, moving, dropping or the foot when walking as a main object. So you are supposed to observe whatever mental and physical phenomena which are newly occurring to you from moment to moment. If you can see the main object, rising, falling or lifting, dropping for the foot, clearly, precisely, then the secondary objects will spontaneously obvious to you. In this way, insight knowledge can take place intuitively. That's called Panya. Panya partly in several ways or in remarkable way, Nyami, seeing or knowing. Seeing or knowing in several ways or a remarkable way or in accurate way. Unless you didn't follow instruction given by the teacher and you practice your own way, then there will be no chance for you to see the truth which is involved in the main object, home object, rising, falling. No need to mention, not to mention the secondary objects. That's actually a waste of time. And then as a result, you may become what we call chronic yogi. So here teachers giving instruction according to the Buddha's teaching. But the practice is quite simple. The only concern is to observe whatever occurring to you. That's all you need to do. It's just like sharpening a sword or blade. So when you are sharpening a sword or knife, you have to put the blade in proper position on the stone, and then you have to make effort sharpening regularly so that the knife or sword becomes sharper and sharper. So there is two factors. First of all, you have to put the blade proper position, and then secondly, you have to make effort sharpening the blade, rubbing on the stone regularly and with effort. Then the knife or sword will become sharper and sharper by itself. So the knife or sword will easily serve its own purpose. So in the same way, in the meditation practice, we have to put our mind in proper position, right position. That is the main object, rising, falling, and so on. And then you have to apply the aiming, right aiming. Through the right aiming, you have to draw attention to the main object which is the right position, and then you have to make effort. Just like rubbing on the stove, you have to make effort to contemplate on the objects without imagining, without reasoning, without judging, without intellectualizing. You have to experience what really happening to you. That's all you need to do. So there is two factors as mentioned earlier: aiming, and right effort, which will be followed by the awareness and concentration in due course of time. Then you will be able to see the true phenomena which are characterized the hardness, softness, tension, tightness, vibration, heat, warmth, seeing, hearing, smelling, and so on. You can see real mind and body, real phenomena clearly, distinctively, through your own experience, not from your teachers, not from hearsay, not from bookish knowledge. That own experience is called insight, the panya or samadhi. You have to try your best to attain such right view. So as a yogi, you should behave as if you were blind, although you have good eyesight, so that you can observe the objects occurring to you. So Sayadaw explained this point yesterday. Now Sayadaw will continue how you behave as if you were deaf, although you have good ear. So as a yogi, we are not supposed to see deliberately sights, however attractive they may be. But sometimes inevitably we have to see something or someone, and then we have to observe the seer in such a way that there is no lustful feeling or hateful feeling coming in to our mind. So that's why the Buddha said the yogi should behave as if he were blind. Although you have good eyesight, you need to behave as if you didn't see anything or anybody. So in the same way, when you hear the sound, you should not pay deliberately attention to the sound, but sometimes the sound comes and strikes to your ear, and then hearing consciousness takes place. Then you should know this hearing. Actually, you are supposed to behave as if you were dead, although your ear is in good condition. So here also yogis, they are mostly highly educated. They have general knowledge about the worldly affair or the knowledge of the Dhamma. They study Dhamma with many teachers. So they have a lot of knowledge about Dhamma and worldly affair, or they have high education. But you should not apply your education or knowledge to meditation practice. You should not show off your education or your knowledge. So the Buddha suggests you to behave as if you were stupid, although you are highly educated and knowledgeable. So according to this advice, you just follow the instruction given by the teacher without analyzing and judging reasoning. You should not take pride in your knowledge and education, I'm a so and so person, I'm a highly educated one. So I don't need to care about your instruction. Such a attitude is very dangerous to your practice. So Sayadaw related his experience or the old days, the Mahavitoda Sayadaw. So he always accepts the monks and novices, always selected. He never accepts the Advaita. Mostly the monks, novice monks, and then from the Shan tribe, they came to the city and studied under his guidance. But when they go back after learning to some extent, the way they speak is still not academic way. So the Sayadaw make remark: when you come, you are Shan, you are from Shan tribe, so they are called Shan people. When you are come, you are Shan. When you go back, also you are Shan. You make no difference. So he makes such remark on those students. So in the same way, when you come, you with your knowledge and education, you practice your own way here, then you cannot make any difference here. So Sayadaw asks you not to behave like that. You should set aside your knowledge and education, and then you should just follow the teacher's instruction. So that's why the Buddha says, Balawa, Pinyawa, Yathamuko, although you are educated and knowledgeable, you should behave as if you were uneducated or stupid. And another behavior the yogi should exercise is Balawa to Baloriwa. Although you are healthy and strong, you should behave as if you were weak and not healthy. So healthy and strong people, they do everything abruptly and quickly. But as a yogi, you should slow down all your activities to the minimum, ultimate minimum. Of course, when you are in the dining hall and bathroom, you may need to do things at a certain speed. But except those times, you should behave as if you were weak and invalid. So you must be mindful all the time, reducing your activities, your speed of activity to 0 level, so that you can follow all activities with the mindfulness. Otherwise, you will miss the activity you are doing. So it is very important to slow down your activities. And also another behavior yogi should exercise is the Buddha said the term Paṇḍitā. You should behave as if you were a corpse in a cemetery. So sometimes when you are practicing intensively, you will definitely encounter several problems, such as pain and irritation and several kinds of the other problems. Sometimes because of the strong concentration and the mindfulness, you can see the pain or irritation seem to become bigger to you. It's just like as if you are magnifying the something you can see bigger, at least 20 times bigger. So in the same way, when your concentration is strong, the pain, unpleasant sensation seem to become more intense, more severe. Then you want to take rest or you want to give up your effort. In this case, the Buddhas encourage you not to give up your effort or your practice without caring about your life and limb. You have to face with any difficulty. There is nobody who died because of the intensive practice. You cannot die because of the intensive practice. So, if you find the practice is really beneficial, if you can appreciate that way, you should behave as if you were a corpse in a cemetery. The corpse has no emotion, no sensation. So in the same way, you should behave as if you were a corpse and without any reaction to the pain or unpleasant sensation. Actually, when your concentration mindfulness becomes strong, you can see pain as pain. There's nothing, nobody involved in that pain. Sometimes you can see only pain. You lose the location or the sense of the location or the pain. You don't know where the pain is occurring. It is in knee or back or head. You don't know the place or location of the pain. You just experience pain. You know pain as pain. That means you see real phenomena. You overcome delusive sense of personality or ego. You can see real phenomena beyond the form and the shape or the delusive sense of the personality. So at that stage, you will find the pain as pleasant. That's a pleasant pain. Although painful is seem to be pleasant to you. Then you will become courageous enough to face any kinds of severe pain. You become courageous, heroic. That type of mental state is called viriya, the heroic effort. So through this heroism, you can face, you can encounter, or you can challenge any kinds of difficulty or pain. Unless you give up, unless you face the pain in this way, and change all the time your posture, then there will be no chance for the mindfulness and the concentration to take place. So you should not change very often your posture, surrendering the pain. So you should deal with the pain with a courageous, heroic energy. Then you can defeat the pain. Once you can defeat pain, you will feel courageous enough to face any other pain. Then you will become successful in practice. So, if necessary, you should behave as if a corpse in the cemetery, which has no sensation, no emotion. You should apply such attitude in the practice. So during the intensive practice, we have to keep our mind, our eye in check. We must exercise the restraint on the eyesight. So in the same way with the sound, smell, taste and touch, and then we cannot suffer the unwholesome mental state. For example, when you see something or someone desirable, then the craving takes place. When you see the something or someone undesirable, the aversion takes place. So if you are mindful, so these mental defilements cannot make our mind heavy, our mind wet and heavy. So in the same way with any other mental defilements, we can deal with through the mindfulness. So thus we can see the true phenomena of the mind and the body, representing the unwholesome mental state from arising into our mind. So thus we can overcome the ignorance and delusion and shamelessness or fearlessness. And when our mindfulness becomes strong, our mind is becomes stable, and then there will be no room for the restlessness of mind, Uddhacca. So in this way we can make our mind, we can keep our mind away from the mental defilements. Thus our mind becomes fresh and active. So every notion that's God. If we can be mindful every moment, every second, 1 minute, 60 times, 5 minutes, 300 times, and 1 hour, 3,300 times, the awareness, moment of awareness takes place. Then we can keep our mind away from the defilements. The mind is active. Just like something, for example, the cloth, which is so wet, then it becomes heavy. So in the same way, when the mind is wet with the mental defilement, the mind becomes heavy, not fresh, not active. When the mind is kept away from mental defilement, it becomes active and fresh. Then you can feel the delight. Sometimes you can feel the good spread, and you may feel the lightness. So you can experience such a minor pity, minor delightfulness. Sometimes you may feel your physical body is very light, or sometimes you feel as if you were floating in the air or space. So these are characterized by the piti, what we call piti, the delightfulness. So this type of the delightful feeling can be experienced when you can keep your mind away from mental defilements. At that moment, at that stage, you can feel peaceful and tranquil, because you can keep your mind away the worry and anxiety and grief. So you can live very peaceful and tranquil life without worry and anxiety or grief. So you can enjoy very blissful feeling as a result of the freedom from mental defilements. So at that level, the two kinds of Dhamma take place. That is, first one is Samatha Dhamma. That means the tranquility of mind, the equanimity of the mind. So that mental state eradicates the emotions which are related to the craving, aversion, or laziness. So in this way, your mind is become tranquil, the counteracting, opposite phenomena That is mental hindrances. So when your mind is alert, active, and then you are able to focus your mind on the objects from moment to moment, then the mindfulness and concentration gets strong, and then you can see the truth of the mind and the body. That's the second type of Dhamma, Vipassana Dhamma, take place. You can distinguish, you can identify with so and so are mind, so and so are body. You can distinguish between mind and the body, and then you can see them arising and passing away very fast. So before that stage, even before that stage, you can experience the blissful feeling, delightful feeling, when your mind is away from mental defilements. In that you can experience samatha and vipassana, tranquility and insight knowledge. So in this way, you can develop apamada, the vigilance, or in other words, mindfulness or heedfulness. So every notion, every moment of observation can help arouse this type of vigilance, apamada, and mindfulness. So when you are developing the tranquility and insight knowledge, spontaneously, intuitively you realize the true nature of mind and body, and then their causality and conditionality, and then their appearance and disappearance. Thus you can produce, you can subdue the ignorance or delusion or craving or clinging or the view or ego. So in this way you can overcome the mental defilements. Thus the cycle or the mental defilements, kilesa vada, stop there. And then when you can stop the cycle or the mental defilements, you perform the meritorious deeds with the wisdom or knowledge instead of the craving or attachment. Thus your mental or wholesome mental state become vivada kamini kusala, the wholesomeness which can lead you the liberation. So as a result, there will be no resultant phenomena take place, because there is no cycle of mental defilement, no cycle of karma which can lead to the rebirth. So in this way, the cycle or the three types of cycle or the mental defilements or the cycle of the karma and the cycle of the resultant phenomena start. So the point is you have to develop the Eightfold Factors or the path so that you can cut off the three kinds of cycles. So shall we continue this point tomorrow? That's all for today. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.